Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of the money world, so you don't have to. Today, we are diving into Bally's Corporation's latest filings. And let me tell you, this one is all about a big property deal that could change how they operate, especially in Chicago. If you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you are subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below, where we break down even more financial news. So Bally's Corporation is announcing some pretty significant moves with their Chicago operations. Specifically, they have entered into two major agreements that will shape their future casino and resort there. The first is an amended and restated ground lease agreement for the land where their permanent casino and resort will be built. Think of this like a long-term rental agreement for the dirt itself. This new lease is with a company called GLP Capital, and it's an update to an existing deal. It's set for 15 years with options to renew for 4 additional 5-year periods. That's a potential 35-year commitment to this location. Now for the juicy financial details. Rent under this new lease will be $20 million annually, and this amount will go up each year. On top of that, Bally Chicago will also pay an extra amount equal to 8.5% of what GLP invests in the construction. So the more GLP puts in, the more rent Bally's pays. This is a way to share the risk and reward of the massive project. GLP is committing to provide up to a whopping $940 million for the construction costs of this permanent casino and resort. This is a huge chunk of change and shows GLP's belief in the project. In exchange for this investment, Bally's is increasing the rent as we just discussed. Of course, with big money comes big responsibilities and consequences. GLP has the right to end this lease agreement if Bally Chicago doesn't meet its obligations. This includes things like not paying rent on time, bankruptcy issues, or failing to follow the rules of the lease or the related development agreement. It's a pretty standard but tough set of conditions designed to protect GLP's investment. When it comes to selling or transferring their rights in these agreements, Bally Chicago has some restrictions. They can't just pass their lease or development deal to someone else without getting GLP's say-so first. They also need to make sure that whoever takes over in capable hands ambulance. Then there's the development agreement itself, which outlines how the construction will be managed. GLP will have a say in a lot of the key decisions, like approving the building plans, the budget, and the construction schedule. They'll also need to approve any changes to the project, although there are some exceptions for smaller changes. Once the funding starts, Bally Chicago has to use only the money from GLP for all the actual construction costs. They can't mix in other money until GLP has fully funded their commitment or the building is finished. This is a way to keep a tight control over how the $940 million is spent. Now, this is important. The details we've just covered are just a summary. The full, complete, and legally binding agreements will be filed later in their quarterly report. So keep an eye out for that for the absolute nitty-gritty. Looking at Bally's Corporation's filing details, their commission file number is 001-38850. This number is like an identification tag for the company with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. It helps them track all the official documents the company files. About their stock, Bally's Corporation has common stock with a par value of $0.01. This is a very low nominal value assigned to each share of common stock. It doesn't reflect the actual market price, but is mostly an accounting term. Their common stock is traded on the New York Stock Exchange, often called the NWES. This is one of the biggest and most well-known stock exchanges in the world, so it tells us Bally's is a publicly traded company of significant size. And finally, the report is signed by Kim M. Barker, who holds the title of Chief Legal Officer for Bally's Corporation. This signifies that a high-ranking legal executive has reviewed and approved the content of this filing. So what does this all mean for Bally's Corporation? Well, this deal with GLP is a massive commitment. They are securing the land for their flagship Chicago project and bringing in almost $1 billion in funding for construction. This is a positive sign that they are moving forward with a major development. However, it also means they are taking on significant long-term rental obligations and are heavily reliant on GLP's continued support and approval. The success of this project is now closely tied to GLP's satisfaction with the development process. The big takeaway here is that Bally's is making a substantial bet on Chicago. They are essentially locking in their location and getting the capital needed to build their vision. The rent structure tied to GLP's investment is a clever way to manage risk, but it also means Bally's operational costs for this site will grow significantly as the project progresses. It'll be crucial to watch how they manage these rising costs and how the project's progress aligns with GLP's expectations. If they can execute this plan well, it could be a game changer for Bally's, but if not, the financial commitments are substantial. Alright, that's our breakdown of Bally's Corporation's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.